So it has been a while since we have played. Who can tell me what they remember from the last session?
You burned it all down and ran away. That's what I remember.
That is indeed part of it.
We still haven't found our party members. I'm trying to think what else really happened story-wise. We don't know where we are or how we got here from the blacksmith shop either.
You do have a map that tells you where you are. You don't, outside of the portals whisking you away, you don't exactly know why. But the map that you guys found from the conference room table did show you that you're, a good day's travel from Mulmaster. It gave you the direction and everything, and maybe not a full day, but it's a non-trivial amount. Sorry, we just had a household announcement. So yes, you did pick up a map that shows you where you were, but not exactly what
picked up.
You picked that up, and there was something.
Our loot, our stuff, and everything else. We kind of.
Well, the loot that was there, the stuff that was on your persons, you have.
Yeah, our equipment. Everything else we just said, oh, burn it. Kindling.
And we decided at the end that we did take a long rest, right?
That was unclear. There was a lot of discussion about it, but so you were the debate came up of where are you heading? Are you heading back to Mulmaster? If so, how much of a rest would you be able to take? And not necessarily about getting back your resources, but more about getting back your hit die. So in terms of, I'll just revisit the timeline with us. When the ambush at the Bloodbath and Beyond happened, that was on the 7th day of the 10-day Saj Estate calendar. So you guys have been finishing up the 8th day right now with the breaking out of the prison. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, we had Thongrim. He rolled for a nature check. He ended up rolling a 21, and I think that was to stake out and find some sort of cave or place for that long rest.
I ever seem to remember something like that.
So that must be what we're doing.
Yes, let me see if I can... Because I don't know if you guys rolled for your health yet.
Yeah, you were the first. That was the first thing I heard about next level was that email. Were you talking about hit dice?
Right, but it was more of the... We did not gain a level. I just said, prepare for one just in case.
I have full health and 5 hit dice, which makes it sound like we did take a long rest.
Yeah, I mean the same thing. All my spells, I went through and must have restored them, so...
Yes, I think we did take a long rest at the end of the last one.
I don't think we were in a position where we could afford not to at that point anyways.
Right. Okay. So let's assume that the long rest has been taken, so that would take us to I'm going to assume the beginning of that 9th day.
I'm gonna try something real quick with my speakers. Hold on.
Okay. Somebody got a message.
Sorry, yeah. My parents just called me.
Well, tell them to roll up a character and join in.
Never mind. I don't think it's gonna work. I was trying to pull the app up on my phone and use the audio there, but I don't think that's gonna work. I may lose parts of what's going on. Whenever my laptop kicks into like processing mode, I just lose all the audio for some reason. Like the fan kicked on a minute, and all I heard was bark, 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 bark.
You consider getting a new computer for Christmas?
I mean, yeah, you can get me one. I'll take it.
I might be able to get you a decommissioned workstation from my office. It's won't be a laptop.
Computers are.
Something like that.
I think all of Ashton's computers are decommissioned computers from work.
This one was nice until my kids got a hold of it and dropped it several times, and now it's how to make a $1,500 laptop a $50 laptop in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I had that happen too.
I'm good to go for now.
Okay, so assuming you guys found a nice warm cave to hide out from the hill giants, away from the fireball that was the prison that you guys were in, you wake up. You guys are fairly refreshed. You kind of have a general clue of where you three are. What do you want to do?
Well, we don't know where our friends are at, so we probably need to go back to town. But I'm guessing they're going to be looking for us, so we probably don't want to just waltz up into it.
I mean, is this the only thing here? Or is it just this one building and then it's just woods in every direction?
As far as we know, yes.
Well, the map tells us something, right?
Yeah, it shows you kind of the main landmarks of them being Mawmaster and this place, and the kind of the pathway that takes you there. There does not appear to be much in the way. This place was kind of on its own, as prisons might want to be.
How far away is this cave from the prison?
I'd say, given the state you were in, you probably, try to push forward. Well, let's say it took based on what I saw in the notes, it took Eldon about 4 hours to come to. So I'm assuming that Thangrum would have been carrying Eldon while he was recovering. So however long you think you would have been able to do that in your state. I'd say probably between an hour or two if you were pushing it.
We can't see it from anywhere nearby this cave then.
No, given the massive fireball that it came in, you probably would still see maybe the remnants of maybe some orange light off in the distance.
I mean, does it look like it's still on fire, or does it look like it's been put out and just smoldering from where we're at?
Hard to say. I'd say, how long would a building burn? Probably smoldering, because the hill giants were actively trying to put things out. But I don't think you would have a clear view of it. I mean, traveling and focusing on moving forward and moving away from it. I mean, you're probably a good clip away. Ash,
do we know the town away from, or do we have to go back by the prison to get back to town?
I assumed y'all were moving towards it, but we did not specify. So, in terms of retconning it, which way do you think you would have gone?
Probably, which is whatever way it looks towards safety.
All right, Ash, how far do you think you could run in an hour?
Ask the marathon guy.
I mean, I think I've got in 6 seconds I can running cover 35 feet, right?
Right.
So math that out. 350 feet a minute.
Isn't that where the rule in 5e has you die if you walk too far for too long?
That's after 8 hours of marching.
So that's not even running. That's just walking. So
35. I mean, if you go by your walking speed, you're looking at 2,100 feet an hour.
2,100 feet?
No, running.
I think so.
Running, it looks like you would be able to go 4 miles an hour.
I walk almost 4 miles an hour. Yeah, because if you go 35,
that's probably about right.
Average speed's 30 feet a second or a minute.
For walking, yeah. I mean, that's not walking quickly, but that's an average walking pace, yeah.
Okay, so Mulmaster, we're going to say it's about 25 miles away from this prison place.
So it'll take you 5 or 6 hours to walk there.
Yeah, but so yeah, 5 to 6 hours. That sounds about right at a steady pace. So, assuming you break for things and for railroads and for other sundry fights, yeah, it's about a day's journey, I'd say. Seems fair.
Yeah, so if you go by the book, it's 3 miles an hour is the average speed.
All right. So, all that said, what do you intend to do? What is the party thinking? Because I believe we left it as Thongrim was the one who was kind of blazing the trail, since he's the one who rolled the nature check.
I mean, there's got to be a road in and out of here, right? It is a prison.
Yeah, I mean, you have a map that kind of leads you that way.
I mean, I assume it's easier and faster and less arduous to follow the road, and you never know. You might find somebody as you get closer to Mulmaster. I'm sure these roads converge with other roads that might let you hitch a ride or something.
Yeah, we should probably not be on the road, though. Maybe walk, because they might be looking for us. At least stay off the road for a little while. We don't want to just like hop on the road walking away from the smoldering ruins of a prison.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
But yeah, we do need to get back. How far away was town?
About 25 miles.
Okay, and so is the road? I mean, if the road's not a busy road, then walking, using it, and then basically like anytime we notice anyone oncoming, we can always jump off the road and hide.
Assuming there's cover, yeah.
Find cover, yeah, if there's cover. Is this a forest road or is it a?
Yes.
So, okay. So we're heading back to Mulemaster, kind of following along the road and what the map's telling us. We're making our way at about 3 miles an hour, and we're going to take all day to do it.
If you're not hoofing it.
Right. I mean, we're all going, Eldon pace because he's the slowest of us, so. I miss Orin, too.
I'm sure Orin 3 will absolve you of that.
I was wondering when Orin 3 was coming.
I hope Orin 2 is okay.
Yeah, you just kind of left him there in the middle of the bloodbath and beyond. He was just scratching himself.
At least you didn't leave him trapped in a locked room, though.
With a bunch of horses. Oh, unintended consequences.
Yeah, he wasn't tied up or anything, so he was free to go and find and forage or whatever he needed to do. Orin 1, yeah, that's a different story, right?
He ate well for a little while. All right. So we're moseying down.
We get on the road. We get near the road, and we GTFO for an hour or two, and then slow it down some.
Fair enough.
All righty. So, leader of the group right now, whoever that person may be, let's do ourselves. There isn't just like a traveling check, because there should be.
What is it? We're all working together, so we all get it. We get advantage to the rolls, and then on top of that, Eldon is happy to touch people and give them an extra. So.
Yes, with a gentle touch. All right, so
sensual touch.
A sensual touch. Well, now it just got weird.
Unsensual.
Nope, we're going a consensual, sensual touch. You guys have gotten close over the past umpteen months as a party.
But not that close.
Yeah. So let's do a perception check first.
Who's our best perceiver?
Me.
All right, roll it.
I gotta click that foot pedal. It makes my screen change.
You barely need the advantage in the extra D4.
But I'll take that D1 for a 20, I guess 27 if we have advantage.
Okay. Eldon,
what does that just do?
Huh?
What Will has the adding bonus malice from guidance plus.
I made a macro that says that and rolls 1d4.
Oh, nice. Nice touch.
All right. Let's do this real quick. All right. So with your 23, roll me another d20, please.
27.
I know, but I want him to roll me a d20.
Oh, okay.
So what you've come up to, you as you're running and making your way down there, you see a canal running, just along the road, just a little ways off. It looks like it was originally built, for lumber and everything to travel to Momaster to and from. That's probably how they got the stuff to build the prison where it is. But now it appears that as you get closer to it, it's really only kind of deep enough for smaller boats and such to go by. You haven't seen a lot of traffic here, and what in your first part of the travel, what you have seen, it's passed by uneventfully. All right, so Ash, roll me a d20, please.
Glad these aren't.
Yeah, I mean, these are... So the next hour goes by relatively uneventfully. You're still traveling a good bit. You're now, I'd say if you hoofed it the first way, it would take us about 8 hours to get there at 3 miles an hour. So you're about an eighth to quarter of the way there.
If we hoof it, it's 4 miles an hour.
Yeah, so you're still, it's just, so 7 of that, so a third of the way there. All right, roll me another one.
Roll another what?
Another d20.
Okay.
Dreams now.
Yeah, so as you've gone through, you're traveling along. You lost sight of the road for a little bit and managed to veer off. And you noticed a little while ago that the canal kind of diverged away from the roadway, and you managed to find your way back to the canal. And it seems that you've gotten turned around somewhere around the bend. So it looks like you have lost an hour of time on your way there.
Where is Siona when we need her?
If only.
Getting turned around because none of us know how to read a map without her around.
I am more of a city person.
What's that? Oh,
Yeah. All right, so you get your wits about you. So, Eldon, I'm assuming you're a little frustrated with the way things have gone. So, it sounds to me like you may have taken your side, taken some initiative here and decided to try to lead the group a little bit.
no, I'm just saying how I miss Siona.
Oh.
Lamenting that we don't have Siona with us when things like this happen. But it just happens, and we need to carry on.
All right. Well,
I think we're far enough off. We probably stay on the road now.
okay. Well, you'll travel back, kind of double back your way to find your way to the road again, taking about an hour to do that. So, if you would roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You notice, I mean, the sun is, it's a bright day. It's, not too cloudy. You've got a pretty good vision, as you make your way back to the road. It seems pretty uneventful. You see a small little cart, down the ways. Doesn't appear to be, anything. It doesn't appear to be military or church-like. Just seems to be some villagers moving along the way. If you would roll me a d20.
Who?
Corin. Y'all expecting me to tell y'all who, what, does, where, why? Okay.
Almost like you're in charge of the game.
I know. It's like, what do y'all expect here? Okay. So, after a while, you end up coming across this cart. And again, it just, as you suspected, it does turn up to be just a small group of villagers, some commoners, if you would. Human. It looks like they are heading in the general direction of Mulmaster. You're coming up to them as they're stopped on the side of the road. Do you want to interact with them, or do you want to leave them on their merry way?
So,
Do they look
direction, and we've caught up to them?
Well, it looks like they have been stopped on the side of the road for a little bit.
Do they look like they're like waiting for anything, or they're like having problems?
Or just having...
Yeah, well, it does appear that they are having a problem. It seems like the axle on their cart has kind of broken a little bit, and the gentleman there with his wife, he's a little unpleasant, almost a little hostile, but it seems like it's just, actually, yeah, you would be able to intuit enough to go, as he's just pissed off that he's having to deal with this.
What do you think, guys? Should we stop and help and try and get a ride into town?
Do they have horses or anything like that pulling this cart?
Well, they have a mule there.
Okay, that could make our travel a little simpler, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to make it in a day at this rate, in a reasonable time. This might make getting back in the city easier.
And the safety, and we have the extra numbers, and we might look a little less conspicuous, too. So, yeah, I think we should say hello and greet them. I know Thongram loves to talk to people, so I'm sure that he'll have lots to say.
So do we know anything about fixing axles? I mean, I guess it's just trimming down a log or something to rough axle size.
Well,
Sure, it's more complicated than that.
there's always that.
Yeah, we'd stop, take a look, see if we can roll enough to know anything about fixing axles.
I think I'm there. So we're going to talk with them?
Yeah. But without our two group faces, who's actually going to be the one talking these days?
I suppose we can split it up, but I guess I can start, just kind of from a distance, I guess, as we're nearing them so far that they can see us and not be alarmed. We'll kind of give a hello there, kind of waving our arms so that they don't think we sneak up.
Hey, hi. Saw you down the road there. I figured you'd stop and say hello. Forgive me. Forgive my attitude. I've had better days. You wouldn't by chance happen to, really be able to know what to do with a broken axle here? I mean, my wife and I are trying to get back there to to town here with just some of our produce here, trying to try to get there before the big events of the day. We're thinking we might be able to get some money in, strike while the iron's hot. But damn if we didn't hit a hole and we broke the wagon here. You guys wouldn't happen to know anything about this, would you?
Yeah, let me take a look at that.
Okay.
What's the break look like there?
You're a little man there. I suppose you should be able to see it right about from where you are. Roll a perception check.
Okay. That one. Am I getting a little help from him?
So you notice that it doesn't appear that the axle's broken all the way through. It seems like it's kind of snapped. It's still, about 9 inches, in length, kind of at a 30-degree angle. It's enough to where it's kind of rocking back and forth, but it's definitely not a smooth ride. And if you can tell, if they tried to push it in its current state, it would eventually kind of shear in half.
Oh, if you're, I think I could handle, kind of do some things here with that if you're not objectionable to the methods.
You got some rope and let's keep the magic to a minimum.
I didn't hear that whisper at all.
We should keep the magic to a minimum.
That's
so, but we could totally fix it and then just wrap it in rope and say that the rope is holding it and basically still do the mending spell, but do it on the sly,
Somebody's been paying attention.
I agree because I'm also a tinkerer, so given that I've got skills with playing around with things like that, I agree with that. I could probably wrap it in a rope. And how much rope you got there?
We got a good hoop's worth, 20 arms lengths.
Probably won't need all that much, just enough to wrap around the part that seems to be broken.
Well, maybe they mean your arm's length.
Hey, now.
You kind of get a side-eye glance from the gentleman. He's like, now, sir, I may be frustrated, but I didn't say those words.
I was talking to my friend here who's making jokes at my expense. I don't know why I just got a drawl, but...
Wow, I insulted all the intelligence out of you.
Fixin' is as fixin' does. This rope and axle goes together like peas and carrots.
What's a carrot?
Corin, do you think you might be able to set up, a little snack here while Eldon and I fix this with this gentleman and his wife? Maybe we take a short rest while we hop under here and knock this out.
Sure, snack. I mean, do we have snacks?
So we can split a ration open or something. More of a
distraction.
Distracted, yeah.
You sure you don't want to come up with your world famous pate out of that sack there? Sorry.
I don't even want to open that sack in front of people. I don't want to open a sack in front of me.
All right. So y'all are about to climb under there and do your thing. Are you trying to hide the magic?
Well, I'll just be like, okay, I'm gonna, say a prayer that this all holds together and all, and and go about tinkering around, wrapping the axle in the rope, and
I'll try and like distract them and like lure them like out to the road and kind of ask like, hey, we're asking like what's around here because we're coming from one direction. We've never been to Mole Master before.
Well, actually, are these people locals from Mole Master or?
It's not they're farmers. Describe they're farmers selling stuff there.
Yeah, they're on their way to try to see if they can sell some of their produce. Try to make it happen while there's still some festivities going on. They
I'll just walk take them a little bit away and ask them about the festivities because we're coming in for business, smithing business, whatever. First time here, see if they know what's going on, and just keep kind of pointing towards the direction of town to keep them from looking back at what's going on.
At the work being done.
Right.
Well, that is mighty nice of y'all to help us out, and we haven't been able to, and we weren't prepared for such eventualities. So what's taking y'all? I'm assuming y'all are heading down to Mole Master. What's taking you that way?
Well, my dwarven friend there's a smith, and we're just kind of hired, his help. A little bit of escort along the roads. Not that it needs much, but you never can be too careful.
Well, you're right. I mean, it seems pretty safe around here since the church has been beefing up, making a means of themselves. We've heard a lot about what's going down there, and like I said, me and my wife here trying to go down there and sell some of this here produce. I know we're getting towards the end of this big their party. I sure would like to try to get there in time today to set up, for the big festivities tomorrow. We hear it's going to be a humdinger.
What's this party you're talking about, and how far are we? We've been walking. It feels like forever.
Oh,
we gotta be getting close, right?
I'd say at this rate, if we can get this thing going, probably another, 3-4 hours, provided don't get hit by a storm or anything. I have a feeling the security is gonna, get a little tight. The closer we get in, but we're within a half day. Sun's not even full high yet, so I think we're making pretty good time.
We're tired of walking. We really should have got some horses, but.
Well, where are you coming from? I mean, if your buddy there's a smith, I haven't seen any armorers or blacksmitheries in these here woods. Where are y'all from?
Oh, what's the name of that town that we met Thongrim in? Aldenburg.
Y'all?
We've just been, he's been traveling up from there, just stopping on places, doing guild business. Kind of like a pilgrimage, if you will, looking for business opportunities.
Expansion.
Wow.
Dwarves and their love of gold.
Well, I have heard these things. I'm not saying I've dealt much with them, but Aldenburg, that's a more than a hop, skipping, and jumping away. And y'all been walking this entire time? That's all right. It kind of looks at his wife, going, shrugs his shoulders. All right, suppose So you're looking for work up there, I guess. I mean, it's a good place. There are lots of good people there. Never had any big issues with it, and I do like what the church has been doing up there.
Got it all safe these days. That's good. It's good for business.
Well, yeah, I'd like to think so. I mean, it's now granted, sometimes you got to watch out. The place has been known to, be kind of cutthroat here and there, but for us little people, things have been going all right.
Well, yeah, that's good. As someone who gets paid to escort people, if it's too safe, that hurts my business.
Okay. And
Are you done with your axle there?
it looks like it. Roll me a, I guess, sleight of hand. Is that? Or what would be a good one for distraction? Would that be a performance or deception?
Probably deception.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do that. So, Corin, give me a deception check.
Okay.
Well, I guess if he's doing a deception and I'm doing a performance.
Well, no, just one or the other. I'm going to go with a deception check, as as he's serving as a distraction. So, okay, so you're able to keep the guy talking and kind of focusing on on the not what's happening under the wagon there. So it looks like based on that you've wrapped it all up. And it seems to have. Yeah. All right. So it looks like you've corrected that. So how do you proceed from here?
I think we push the cart around a little bit, make sure it's rolling all right. Offer to join with them on their travel down to Mulemaster.
If they don't mind.
If they don't mind. I mean, we're walking in the same direction. We're either going to be, right next to each other or a little bit ahead or a little bit behind them. So.
Well, we do. Thank you for patching us up there. It does look like it's nice and sturdy. You were able to move it around the road a little bit, so there's a little bit of a wobble, but hey, it's better than nothing. I can tell you that much. So I mean, what could we do to to repay you? I mean, I've got some silver here, or if you are heading down to Mulemaster, I mean, y'all are more than welcome to hitch a ride back there. Just try not to sit on the cabbages or anything.
How many of them are there?
How many? How many?
Just the two.
Just the two of them?
No, we've got more than two cabbages back there.
Only two cabbages?
There's more than two cabbages back there, I can assure you. If we get
how many people are we talking about again?
Oh,
the man, wife, or
it's not people; it's cabbages. You already covered that.
Yeah. Well,
are you smuggling people in the back here?
No, we're not smuggling people. We're not into that kind of business. I mean, there are people that do that, and I'm sure they're doing what they think's right. But no, it's just cabbages back there. And my good short man there, you may be good with a rope and some stuff, but you sure as hell can't count. I mean, you do see it's just me and my wife here.
Yeah. Sometimes I get distracted and realize what's going on in front of my face.
He looks over at Corin. Your friend here's not too bright, is he?
Well, he's big people confuse him.
I get that. I can see that. I mean, I once, came up upon a hill giant once, and I mean, man, he surprised the shit out of me. I should have seen him, but I just didn't know what I was looking at until it was too late. And then I looked up, and well, let me tell you something. When they're around, you don't want to look up their loincloths. It's a little bit of a scary sight.
I'm never eating again now. Thanks for that.
Well, you heard it here first. Just trying to help a brother out.
He's probably going to get moving. It's, try and get there at a reasonable time.
Well, then, by all means, if y'all seem like good, upstanding individuals and all, so yeah, just hop on back. But if you break my cabbages, you're going to have to pay for them.
Broken cabbages.
So these are the finest artisanal cabbages. You don't find any of them better here. Some of them are red, some of them green, some purple. The tastiest ones, the sweetest ones are white.
Can't say I've ever had a white one before.
Well, just saying. They're tasty. 2 coppers each.
Sure, I'll shell out a couple coppers for one.
Well, mighty kindly of you, sir. All right. Well,
And I'll climb up there and I just climb on board and get, be prepared to be off.
Yeah. Have a little seat there.
yeah, we got a little seat for you. Need a booster back there? I got an apple crate or something up here. Might, if it helps you out, sir.
No, I'll be happy just sitting among the cabbages.
All right, so you guys are back off on the road there, and as the hour goes on, as the hour proceeds, you end up coming across the great and mighty wondrous things that you see up here in the north near Mulmaster. As you're getting closer, you see the mountains on the side there. And the canal that has gone through kind of dives down into this beautiful gorge that goes down, say about 40 feet or so. The canal's kind of grown a little more into a wider, I'm going to say river, loosely, but with boulders, and you see some small little inlets there. And as you're traveling down the road, you see a narrow path that allows travelers to walk down there, and get closer to the eddies to either let their horses get some water, maybe even bathe a little bit down there. So just some of the roadway that's going there. If you would, roll me another d20, please.
Okay.
Okay, so you're into the mid afternoon, and the sun has gone past the noon hour, and you're continuing to go through. Seems uneventful. There's just some minor chitter chatter from Wentworth and his wife Ingrid. You see some deer off along the road, kind of flitting in and out of the tree lines there. And several, it seems like you've come across where a larger patch of elderberries have started to branch up here. Good foraging stuff if you wanted to do that. Otherwise, keep on moving on.
I think we should just not stop unless we have to.
Okay, so you're getting closer, and you see off in the distance. You're about an hour's out, but you can start seeing some of the urban sprawl. The road traffic's getting a little more busy. You do start seeing some more. Not necessarily nobility, but you see some more aristocratic folks in their carts. And other, adventurers and people of all sorts kind of coming in the roadways. You have started to, several other roads have merged into this one, and you've taken some turns, and you're more on the main road. Seems like you're back on the main stretch towards Mulmaster. If you would, give me another D20. All right, that, and one second. I had lost my place in my notes. All right, so as you come up, you do see, and you kind of make your way up to this merchant has kind of set up shop on the road there. He's far enough out where he doesn't look terribly suspicious, but, Corin gets the idea that this guy may not be all on the up and up. But it does seem to be a merchant there. If you decide to, stop, for Corin's sake, you do see some markings of the thieves' cant on the wagon, on the side of the wagon there.
Can I see what he's selling?
There's the general wares that you would see. There are some potions, there are some things there, but you get the idea that he may have some less than above board items.
All right, you guys keep going. I'm gonna hop off and browse this merchant for a second. I'll catch up, and I will whisper to Eldon or whoever's sitting next to me that he looks a little bit shady, and then out loud ask if anyone else wants anything while I'm looking.
Anybody?
No, but I'll keep an eye back towards him while we're going.
Okay, so I hop off and walk over to him.
Aye, sir. Thank you kindly for stopping by. Anything you like here? I do have some fine wares here. Got a couple of potions of greater healing, one or two superior healing. I'm not too bad at sizing some people up, but looks like you might know your way around some of the arcane arts. Might have a few scrolls here and there that you might be interested in. So, what you be looking for?
Well, what kind of scrolls you got?
Well, do have a couple of things of the wizarding arts, and I think one. Now, I'll be honest with you, sir. I'm not really much into things, but I think I can. Like I said, I think I can size you up pretty well. I do have one here. It's just, if you like playing with wind, it's one. I think it's a scroll of gust of wind here. Let's see here. I got some other, some a couple of smaller things, some fire bolts, and I think cantrips is what you would call them.
You got anything of a more permanent variety?
More permanent variety.
Like magic items, like.
Oh, well, let me have some things here. I'll say out of game, is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Well, let me check my money first. I feel like I'm rich, but I don't remember. I need to go back and grab that ever-present link to the thingy. Pinned message. Yes, there it is. I'm still looking for that headband of intellect. I know that.
Okay.
Where did my link go? Clicked it. Why didn't it open up? Oh, because clicking the pin link takes you to the link. It doesn't open it. Find the money in the
Okay.
Why don't we keep this thing better organized?
Well, we use it frequently. So I do have this this halberd. It has a blade on it. It kind of looks like a little bit of a snake that's going to be striking. This weapon, it has been known to pull water from the user's body to create a poison. So if you use that, I mean, it's kind of a nasty thing. Whenever you slice somebody with it, it does inject a little bit of, now I haven't tried it myself, but this is kind of a potent weapon. I've got another one that's, I've got some, now this is more, we've been toying with some of our potions here, and we've created some glass darts. Now, before I tell you what they do, again, since I'm tying things, can you read my sign on this wagon here? You know which one I'm talking about.
I can, and I tell him whatever he's looking for.
Good enough.
So thieves can't sign this.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done a lot.
I can't read it, but
yeah. So, this weapon doesn't. These darts, they don't do any damage, but they cause the target to hallucinate for about just a couple of minutes, anywhere from 1 to 10 minutes. Now, again, they're not going to do a lot of damage, but they sure as hell would be a lot of fun in a fight.
Yeah, sounds like I'm a little too much fun. My party members might. You want to use them?
So, I do have this headband here. I think it has something to do with something about wisdom. There is, I might be able to part with it for, let's say, 750 gold.
Wisdom?
Oh, wisdom. I'm not into the arcane art. Maybe it's intelligence. Maybe it's that. It's got this purple diamond on it, purple stone. I haven't identified it.
God damn, not having an arcane caster. I feel like a headband and that will cost more than that. I'm sure you're trying to rip me off.
It should cost more? Well, that's what I said. It was 1,250.
If you're lying to me and this is not what you say it is, I'm gonna come find you.
Oh, I'm sure you will. We're very reputable here. We will be here all week. So if it is not,
a guard gets near.
Yeah. What? Guard? But I don't see anybody. What guard? Now, don't you go be playing tricks on me, you son of a bitch. You know damn well.
I'm not playing tricks. I'm just saying. I'll take it. It's at 750.
Oh, I thought you said it was too much, so that's why I went. It was at least 1175.
You're right, 750 is too much. So if you want to knock down to 500, I'll be happy to go for that level.
Okay, so 850 it is. So I like this plan.
Yeah, I can part with that.
850, very good. I like that.
Now, would you happen to, being an upstanding, reputable businessman like yourself, have a way into town that might draw a little bit less attention?
Now there is,
just in case someone tries to, overly, tax your goods.
Well, there is always the way that going in around to the north side of town through the port there. Now you're going to have to sneak by the tower towards the top there. There's the lighthouse by the inlet to the sea. But if it gets a little darker, there are usually easy ways to sneak into town that way.
Are we going north or going with
You'll be coming up from the south end towards the main gate there. Now, that's the way the map would show you. So,
okay.
Are we entering in through the big red dot?
By the map, that's where it's taking you.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will pass over my 850 and take my headband of hopefully intellect.
Now, for doing business with us, sir, I will let you reach down in here, because I do see that charm bracelet you got there on your arm there, and seeing as that you are part of those fine arts, I'll let you reach in here to my grab bag and pull out one of our charms here, and as a parting gift, because as you said, I am a fine, upstanding person, a man of my word, if you would, and I don't want you to think that you're being ripped off by any stretch of the imagination. So, if you would, you go ahead and reach on in there and pull out one of these charms.
Am I rolling something?
Yeah, you can roll. Here, I'll do it for you, because I gotta figure out what it is every time.
By now, isn't it like a D120 random number?
Oh boy, you got a legendary one, whatever it is.
Just saw the link to that a second ago too.
You did. You put it on, it consumes your heart, you're dead.
No, that's probably one of the best ones there.
Which one is it? Greedy heart.
Yeah. Anytime you receive a healing benefit, you regain an extra hit point. This charm cannot be removed when it is attached to a charm band.
Sweet. All right. Well, I thank you for your, no, not your business. It's I'm the one giving you business, but for this transaction, I will be on my way.
Okay, well, we also have some other things here. If anybody else in your cart there is interested, some fine amulets and potions, and other things. But
what else you got, real fast? And the longer I talk, the more I got to run to catch up.
Well, there's an amulet of, I want to say it's kind of shiny and sparkly. It looks like it's an amulet of radiance. Gives you some sort of, the guy who sold it to me, he said it gives you resistance to necrotic damage. Now, I don't know about you, but that does sound pretty hefty. So, I'd say I'd be willing to part with it for, well, I mean, unless you got anything in trade, maybe 1,000 gold.
That's a little too rich for my blood.
Well, what would you offer?
I don't really, with this new bracelet, headband I just got, I really can't wear that anyways. But how about this? I'll go back to my friends, see if they want anything. If they do, we'll make our way back out here, and with a little bit more money, maybe have some better shopping experiences there.
Okay, well, like I said,
I'm not carrying a whole lot on me right now, so.
Well, we do take trades. So, well, yeah, we'll be here at least the rest of the week.
In town for the whatever that thing is that.
Oh, that thing,
festivities
yeah.
I heard about.
The festivities, yes, sir, yes, sir. I hear it's going to be something to behold there. Now, I will tell you, if you here's the thing, this amulet here, it is one of my crown jewels of this collection here. But I will say, if you can go and find me any information, I will gladly trade it. Apparently the church has found this regenerative crystal. Some associates of ours have been looking for it. I'd be very much interested in getting my hands on it. I don't know what the church is doing with it, but I'm sure I find better uses for it than whatever they're trying to do. So
that goes without saying.
Well, keep your eyes open for that, and if you can bring that to me, I'll give you. Oh hell, I'll give you this amulet. I'll find something else too. I'm very anxious to get my hands on it.
Do you know what describe it?
Well, I don't know how many carats this crystal is, but it's I'd say it's a good melon size. It's kind of an amber coloring to it. It's hard to miss. I mean, if you see it, you'll know what it is. It's something to behold.
Well, I think we can make a deal if we happen to come across something that resembles that.
Okay. Well, very good. Now, just again, between me, you, and the fence post here, I've also heard that there's this traveling tarot card reader. I don't believe a word of it, but there's rumors that he may have one of them decks on him, and I think you know what I mean.
I think I do, and
just be on the lookout.
I'll be sure to do that, and then probably steer clear of them.
Well, just helping another one of our kind out.
Yeah, well, that's a dangerous thing right there.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, best be on your way. Your party's probably down the road a good bit, so you best get to getting.
All right, so then I take my leave and start jogging back. And once I'm back, I guess I'll just use the cart ride as a short rest to identify what I just bought.
Okay. You would recognize it as the headband of intellect.
Sweet.
Are you going to... No, this is a short rest, so you can attune to an object, too, if you wanted to attune to that charm. Actually,
yeah,
you need to...
Well, there too.
You've got to attune to the headband as well.
I'll do the headband first.
Okay.
I don't know how many hours we have left till we get to town, but if I can, I'll do all of them. If I can't, that's the order.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got about an hour. So, all right. So, Corn's made his way back to the cart. He's been kind of hoofing it. So he gets out. He's been resting a little bit, attuning to his newfound wares. Eldon, Thongrim, what's on your mind?
I think just looking over each cabbage and seeing how each one grows differently while we're riding along.
Sounds like I missed some exciting stuff.
Yeah. It's a little bit more exciting than paint drying, but, it passes the time. How'd you make out at the merchant, with the merchant?
I got that headband I was looking for, but, it's always hard to trust what he's selling, being a shady merchant hours out of town. And he's got, just some gossip, and then I'll relate about the jewel thingy in a quieter voice.
Now, I guess there's 5 of us here right now, right? So are we all on this cart?
Yeah.
We're just, the 3 of us are sitting in the back of the cart. The 2 of them are sitting.
Yes.
Guy, driving the mule.
Yeah. I mean, along the way, I mean, you could consider that. I mean, the time that you've been spending there just kind of hanging out, I would consider that, you could say a short rest. Or so if there are things that you, whatever you could do during a short rest, you could do that.
You don't recover any hit dice during that, right?
No.
Okay. But I mean, other than that, so rested. We haven't exerted ourselves in any other way than the walking. So
no, things have been remarkably quiet in terms of hostility along the road. I've been quite impressed by your dice rolls. So, Thongram, anything on your mind? Anything you want to do?
No, just riding along, thinking about how, once we roll in, how it's going to be safe to get back to the Bloodbath and Beyond, and whether or not we should go there or not.
Oh, it's not going to be safe. I self and get near, but
So you're. Oh, sorry.
Well, what's the question?
None.
Okay, so as the cart pulls along, you're starting to come down through some hills. There was kind of a valley that you traveled through the first time on your way to Mulmaster when you were teleported this direction. So the roadway is starting to look a little more familiar to you. So you know that you are getting closer to the city. You start seeing some smoke pouring up, from the various smokestacks that are throughout the city. You get closer, and the landscape you start seeing the wall and the sprawl of the city in front of you. Out in the distance, you start seeing the towers of the Church of Bane, the Blades Tower, and all of those things. So at this point, do you want to continue riding in?
Yes. So this is then the area that Eldon would have been taking rides with Oren and coming out to the shrine of Lathander.
You would be getting close to those areas, yes.
Okay. And it's getting towards evening, though, right?
Yeah, it's been a long day, but yes, it is. The sun's getting low there, big guy. It's there's still sunlight, but I mean it is getting more towards the dusk, not quite twilight, but yeah.
I might want. I mean, I know it would be the wrong time of day stopping in at the shrine, but I may want to, be like, I think, we can make it the rest of the way in, get close to the shrine there, and, suggest that we take a stop, and part with I'll suggest this to the guys here.
I mean, the problem is I told them we'd never been here before. If you start stopping at shrines that no one knows about.
Oh, okay.
And it's not that those shrines were ever particularly not known about. They were just tolerated.
Right. Okay. So, so a shrine to Lathander, is it along the road? I forget exactly.
I don't think it's directly on the main road. No.
Okay, so I wouldn't be able to see it from the road to be able to be like, hey, that's a shrine to Lathander. Mind if we jump off here and any of that kind of option?
I mean, not that you would see it, but there's nothing stopping you from jumping off and saying, "Hey, you got to go do something." I mean,
And nothing says avoid suspicion like we gotta go do something.
I didn't say that particular idea was a great idea, but
because so we haven't really gotten, you know, the conversation Corin just had. We didn't get privy to all of that as far as trying to sneak into the town. But I mean, I think my view is either we have some reason to jump off. We say, well, you know, as we go in, we could just go in as, you know, with them. But are we afraid that we're going to be identified by the guard at the gatehouse? I mean, they'll know who I am because I would have through that gate quite a bit.
Also, you're probably a rarity as a gnome.
At least somewhat identifiable.
Well, we could, you know, bring up maybe they know where if they know the shrine's there, we can just ask if there's a shrine that you want to stop for.
Well, it's evening, so it would be a little weird for Pander. But I'm just looking at options for, you know, us to, like, are we concerned that we're going to be identified and accosted trying to go through the gate?
I am.
Okay. So as we get near, we need to come up with a reason to say, hey, you know, we're going to the city. We wanted to check something out or otherwise.
So we just, you know, could steer the conversation towards religion. Maybe they'll tell you about that shrine, then you can say, oh, I'd like to see that. Before we get there, if there's still time to.
What was the names of the guy? You just said the names a little bit.
Wentworth, something like that.
Wentworth and Ingrid.
Wentworth. Hey, you say you've been around here a few times?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have been, and we do come up here to sell some of our produce quite. You know, every once in a while, especially when they have some bigger events here. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I know the place like the back of my hand, but you know, I'm familiar with some areas.
You know of the area around it. Are there any you know, new to the area? Anything notable inside or outside the city wall there?
Well, I will say that I know that they've been gussying up that their church there for Bain. Gotta say that I can't say that it's been finished soon enough because it is quite something. We did go down there as they were trying to finish up, and they've got this magnificent statuary in there of the hand of Bain. And it is something to behold, I will tell you. Now, for around these parts here, I mean, obviously the valley is somewhat pretty. You can go up to some of the cliffs there and kind of catch a sight out to the sea, up to the north here. I would recommend bundling up. It does get a bit cold, especially when you get a little bit higher there. You'll see some of the older shrines. They ain't really frequenting it too much. I mean, it's more for historical purposes, you know, because we do like to think back about where we came from. But you know, it's, you know, there's some things there for, you know, historical landmarks and all that.
I sure enjoy the history of places and stuff like that. I'm glad that you keep them around. Or, you know, what's up this way?
Well, to the west there are some shrines to I can't really remember the Nathaniel or something. I don't rightly remember. But it's down one of those roads a little over there to the west. And I think there's one, oh God, the Squid Lady. She's down there by the lighthouse. If you want to take that in, I can't remember her name there, but there's something down there. But if I were you, I really wouldn't waste your time there. I'd go towards the more glorious sites. I mean, seeing the claw, the golden embossed claw there at the temple, it is a beauty.
If we're gonna, better to see the little ones first and the big one last. Otherwise, it'll ruin the little ones.
It'll be quite a disappointment to see it in reverse.
Well, you were right. If I hear it correctly, I mean, again, everybody's been all at Twitter. Apparently, the church has got something big coming up tomorrow. I am excited. Me and my wife here, we've just been whispering about it all the way up here. We are super excited to see what the high priestess has got. She has never not kept her word, and we are super excited.
Okay, it's coming up on night here too. Do they frown on making camp outside of the walls instead of staying at inns inside? Is there any ordinances or anything like that about that?
I can't say that there's any ordinance or anything. It is a little odd, but I mean, this place can be a little dangerous outside the walls. I mean, there are some, with wildlife and everything, there are some marauders. And like I said, there are some people, some ne'er-do-wells that try to look out for themselves. But typically, the city guard takes good care of them, and if not, we got the blades watching out for us. I will tell you though, those folks in those heavy woolen cloaks there, I don't really tell you, they frighten me a little bit. And if I were you, I would just steer clear of them.
Cloaks, huh?
Oh yeah, they're a mean bunch. I mean, I don't know if you. I mean, if you say you ain't been around here, so you probably haven't ever actually met one. But they are a weird bunch of folks.
Thanks for for staying away for who to stay away from. That's a good call. There.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's been a blockade on them magical things, but I mean, apparently, I've heard that some of them they are legally able to cast some spells, and I just don't think that's right.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. I mean, if you're going to try to take in some of the historical sites before tomorrow, and I'm sure tomorrow is going to be one of those grandiose things, and good that you're coming into town to see it firsthand. If you want to take in some of the historical sites, and hey, far be it for me to say no. I'd do it before the light dies out a little bit. 'Cause, I mean, you probably got a good, maybe an hour before it gets dark out here. I would take something, some sort of torch or fire type thing with you, in case the wolves, and when I say wolves, I do mean wolves, they come out in force.
All right.
Well, we'll be sure to get near the town by then. But
What do you say, guys? You want to make camp outside and save some coin, and maybe do a little light hunting?
that's up to our employer Thongrim over there. He likes saving coin though.
Well, it'd be nice to get inside and have a warm bath and everything. But if you think it's more prudent to stay outside, then I will follow your. At some point, I got to get back in there and scope out the shop too.
Yeah, we're also
because we have staff there that are at least. We need to find out what happened to them.
I think we're just looking to not go through the main gate.
Yeah, so we're looking for a kind of an excuse to kind of jump off. Wander around and find a different way into the city. How far around take? We followed the wall all the way around the outside. How long did that take to get to the north end?
I think we've said in the past that this place is maybe a mile in diameter.
Okay. So yeah,
from Mesa, I mean, that's
wouldn't take a huge amount of time.
But we have to get a little further away, though, so we're not skulking around right in front of the town guard outside of it.
Right.
Yeah, we could do it.
But we had done that once before, when I was using the key to get a directional from it.
yeah. You ended up over here somewhere.
Yeah. So, because we have to go, we have to go that way to get to that entrance.
Yeah, this is where up here towards the north. That's where he was. Where Corin was told you might be able to sneak in.
I thought we were talking about this gate and
Well,
I mean, suppose you could go that way too. Yeah.
heading into that direction, and that's actually close to getting into Bloodbath and Beyond. I mean,
right. So you've got Bloodbath in there, and then the Squirrel's Nest Tavern. Just putting things back in to get that was over here. The Sage Estate is here. Actually, no, I think I was mistaken. I think the Squirrel's Nest is up in this area. And then obviously, Hammer Home. This was the main tavern, the inn that you guys stayed in when you first got to town. I mean, so you've got options.
So does that sound like a fair idea? Take leave and do a little camping outside before we, for the night before we go into town and get a look around. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
sounds good to me.
We thank you for the ride.
Well, we wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for your handiwork back there. And I do thank you kindly for helping us with that axle rod there. I can't believe we made it this far without as many tools. I should have seen that coming. But like I said, I mean, it's take care of yourself out there. I mean, I had no problem. You can follow us on through onwards in, but be sure to try to get in sooner because I'm sure all the rooms are going to be getting full here with all the festivities. I know that Mr. Sage is supposedly put on a big thing here, and I hate that we're going to have missed most of the day's worth, but maybe we'll be able to catch some of the party tonight. But the big shenanigans are supposed to be all going on tomorrow. And that's like I said, we are really truly excited. There's supposed to be something we've never seen. There's supposed to be something big happening. Can't wait. You should be sure to be there.
Oh, we'll be there.
Sounds exciting. We'll have to take that in.
Well, alrighty. And as we go, I mean, I'm expecting to sell through a good bit of these cabbages. You want to be able to take any more of them on with you? Maybe have a bit of a meal this evening. Go with whatever you're hunting. I did overhear some of that.
Cabbage is a good addition to some stew. So yeah.
Well, all right. All right. Well, how about this? I'll give you 6 heads there for silver. That's a little bit of a discount there, but be sure to get some of those white ones. They're mighty nice.
Fair enough.
All right, there. Well, gentlemen, y'all be good. You take care of yourselves out there. Be careful of the wolves. There are out there. You will hear them before they come. So, well, we're going to be on our way. So we hope maybe we'll run into you while we're in there. But until next time, hail Bane, hail Bane,
Hail Bane.
Hail Bane.
Hail Bane.
And they kind of move off on their merry way, trucking on down towards the southern gate of Mulmaster. So what are you doing? What is up?
I think we'll clarify what the things that Corin learned from speaking with the merchant.
Yeah, so
Since he was probably being very cryptic on the
yeah. So next time, guys, we should probably get a story straight before I wander off and tell them one, and you guys don't know what it is. So the guy said, "Come in north by the towers. Probably the best way to get in without being seen. On the north side of the wall." And then I'll relate in more detail about we steal the jewel. He'll give us some sort of amulet of radiance.
Fair enough.
Oh, I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for us to be going around pilfering things like that.
I think our first order of business is to see if we can get back what the state of things are at Bed Bath, Bloodbath, and Beyond. I'm tired. I need a nap. Bloodbath and Beyond, and get to
Yes, we'll get your dog back.
see if we can sneak in. See if we can restore any that we might have had without raising any concerns. I'm sure all of our neighbors be, aware something heavy went down in there.
Well, I'm pretty sure if we even go in there, like, who knows what they told our staff, we probably shouldn't, actually talk to them. Because if they think we're a bunch of traitors, they'll probably just turn us in. I mean, look at the farmers over here are all hail Banin, so...
So I guess I should tell you that my backpack's in there, and well, that's where
I'm not saying we don't go in there. I'm just saying we don't need to talk to anybody.
Right. No, I agree. But just to let y'all know, my backpack, which contains the other key, is somewhere in there in our quarters. Hopefully, they haven't tossed the place and found that hidden away.
I mean, I can just, like I said, disguise self and go in as an official, to be just double checking or something like that, and look around. But first, we got to get in the town, and then find some place to lie low.
So it's the south gate and the water, and then any hidden other entrance in, right?
You said the
Yes.
tower. I'm guessing that up by that red one, by the water. Yeah, like you're saying.
Right there?
I guess it's the tower you meant, right?
Yes.
So I guess we need to. First thing first is to get over to that. Once we're inside, we can. I mean, we have no place. Once we're inside, we have no idea where we're going. Because we definitely can't sleep in Bloodbath Beyond. Now you got me doing it.
The pun was great when it started.
Was it?
Yes.
Fair enough.
To be fair.
But so we can't sleep there. We never actually made much contact with the Thieves Guild, so we can't really go crash there.
Where did you say you couldn't crash?
Bloodbath and Beyond.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, I suppose you could if you really wanted to tempt fate, but that's probably It's not something I would choose
no
to
one
do.
would look for us there, but yeah.
Didn't we buy a second store?
You were trying to work with Hammerhome for a little bit.
I thought they'd gone out of business and we bought them, but let them keep their name or something.
No, Hammerhome was the guy. He was one of your main competitors. I'm trying to think back. I know that you bought out, whatever Bloodbath and Beyond became.
So we were talking about trying to ruin him, but and whether or not it was evil to try and do things and spread rumors about him. And
Right.
I can't remember if we actually did anything.
I don't think that ever panned out. Now, I will remind you that Raspar, he found you for a reason. So there is the squirrel's nest that is there that
We caused the big ruckus in.
Yeah. Well, Raspar is the one who ultimately owned that place.
Well, if that one's partially burned down, we could maybe stay there. It wouldn't be necessarily warm or inviting, but
I don't think we burned the swirls nest down.
No, Raziel was a heavy proponent of trying to burn it down, but I forgot which one of you, somebody talked him out of it. It was a strange turn of events. Yeah, which was a strange turn of
I'm the
events.
reasonable one in the group. I don't get it.
Strange things happen with this group. All right, so Thongrim, I'm gonna look to you. You have not had a lot of camera time here. What is it that you want to accomplish?
I mean, I guess so. We're up at 6, or are we in the city now?
You are not in the city at all. You guys are somewhere around 7 o'clock on the map. Probably, I would guess, around the big M of the Mole Master there, because y'all hung up shop. So I'd say y'all are somewhere over here right now, because you haven't really told me where you want to go.
I thought start making our way towards the
Oh yeah,
tower.
when we got off the cart, we didn't really make camp or do anything. We basically were saying, well, which way are we going to get into town, and which way we're going to go. So if the gate that the guy was, or the way in the guy was talking about, is on the west side of that inlet, then we would be moving around the city that way. If it's on the east side, we'd be moving around the city that way. So just need to know which direction that around the city we were making our way.
Yeah, so he did suggest that it would be around the light tower here on the left, the western side.
Away from the gate. So if we're going to come in that way, we're going to come in on the Squirrel's Nest side.
Yes.
Okay. Which might be our target place to start because of Rasbar's. That's where he's from. How he found. Did we ever learn that much from him?
There were conversations about it. At least I thought when.
Okay.
Back. Yeah, there was when the first guy was pushed through the portal back at the battle. Thongrim held on tightly to the key, and he managed to get the other guy. And then it became a standoff between y'all and Raspar. Some of those things started coming out about how he found you, before the ambush escalated even further.
So since Raspar and the rest of our friends are all missing since we abducted, we may want to start there because it's on the way into town for us, and see if anyone's hurt Rasbar.
Okay.
Does that make sense as an action, or do we want to just go straight past that, work our way around to get to Bloodbath and Beyond?
We need to have in case there's any heat on us by Bloodbath and Beyond, we need to be able to have some place to at least hopefully run to.
Okay, so it sounds like Squirrel's Nest is a good first target to get into.
Yeah, I would say so.
Hopefully there aren't any friends of people by accidental aggressions.
All right, so is this what we're trying to do?
Yeah, that's a good start as any. I mean, we could always put on some cloaks and go pray in a church overnight too, because they'll probably accept anybody, and we haven't been there before, so we got options till the sun comes up.
Okay. Well, as you make your way up the west side of the town, I'm assuming you're staying a little ways away. So are y'all? Go ahead.
Sorry, this is night 9, right?
Yes.
Tomorrow's the big reveal.
Tomorrow is the purported day. The Mistress Sage has announced, along with Gildle, the High Priestess, that there was going to be. They didn't necessarily call it Military Day, but it was, the way it was putting out, it was going to be a show of the church and of, Bane's conquest and commemoration of the city. There's going to be, they promised something that nobody has seen before.
Okay, so everyone's going to the Rapture tomorrow night.
Perhaps. So you get closer. I mean, the question is as you're going around the west side of the city, are y'all going with torches blazing? Are y'all sneaking through, or what's the plan?
Well,
we'd be getting out of range of this, where you couldn't see us from the city, and then sneaking around.
Yeah, we'll stay a good bit away from the wall and kind of make our way around. But it's as long as we have some light, 2 of us can see. In some,
I can see. I have those goggles now.
Oh yeah,
they're conspicuous in town, but they're fine out here.
Gotcha. Okay, so we can move around the outside without raising any torches or anything like that.
All right. So each of you roll me a stealth check. That should be good. I assume if 2 of the 3 of you pass, I'm just more curious what Thongrim would end up with. Just make sure.
I'm getting there. Sorry. I didn't have my character open.
We know your computer can't handle having 2 web pages open at once.
It seems like that lately. S for stealth. There we go.
You just use the web browser on your PS4.
It might be just as fast.
It feels like.
I may have a sidekick somewhere that I could pull out for you. All right, so you guys managed to sneak around unseen up towards the lighthouse there. Once you get there, and obviously the heavy salt air really starts breathing in. You get as you get close, you start you see the guards along the lighthouse as the torches are spinning there, showing that hey, there is a port here, and trying to veer off ships and such. But you get there, and while the guards are kind of looking around the tower, you guys have managed to sneak around the port area and kind of into the town here. As you go through, roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay, so you get through, and Corin would spy what appears to be. It's not necessarily run down, but it is it looks like it is a shrine, or possibly even a temple to the queen bitch herself, Umberly, which is right around this area. Just for grins, you happen to see that there. You've heard a lot about it, and turns out you remember hearing Siona talk about one of her roundabouts through the city. She made her way here to this shrine, and there was this little place where it looks like they would make sacrifices down into the sea area to Umberly. You managed to point it out as a point of interest. It's like, hey guys, look over there. That's where Siona went, and really just pointing it out for you.
So odd that a good paladin is the god of Umber. Very interesting.
So, moving forward, you do hear sounds of celebration and revelry, as you hear a cacophony of both lyre music and what sounds like Gregorian chants and throat singing. There's fireworks that go off in the air as you see it just over the buildings down this way as you get closer to where the Sage estate is. There is a lot of merriment. There's a lot of excitement in the air. You haven't quite gotten to it, but you do hear the commotion. So where now that you're in the city, where do you want to go?
Side streets and back streets to head to Squirrels, I guess, is what we're talking, right?
Yeah. All right. So the Squirrel's Nest is going to be right on over here. It is. You get closer to it, and you recognize the salt encrusted what resemblance of a pine straw nest with a hand carved squirrel sitting there with a carved nut in its little claws there, and the stairs go down to the establishment's door. You notice when you get to it that there don't appear to be any lights or candles or anything lighting the inside.
Okay. Do we see anybody?
You look around. It doesn't appear that anybody is actively around here.
Well, what do you want to do, guys?
I mean, in we go, right? Ever forward.
Well, we just need to see if there's any sign of Razgar or anyone who know him to know what's going on in town, and the is now in the dark about what's happening. There's no one around. I mean, I guess we could look in and see if place has been tossed, or what we could glean from might be going on right now.
We don't think they'll be watching this place for us, do we?
Well, if they knew Razgar, they might that they might be watching the place for that. And look, so do we notice? Yeah. So I guess, do we notice anybody? Like you said, we don't notice anybody around. Like, but is there anybody around?
Well,
Like at all?
roll me a perception check.
Of us or. We don't know nothing. We don't see.
You look around and, the two of you says, it seems clean. It is a little dark inside. You don't, it's quiet out here. You guys did your cursory check. It's been a long road for you guys, but you don't see anything.
Yeah, we may need to go inside, find out, see if there's anything. So kind of go up to the door, I guess, see if it's open.
Well, when you Eldon, I'm assuming you're going up and you're kind of looking at the door and you push on it with all your might, and it doesn't budge. You're like, well, it looks like it might be locked. Might be stuck. I don't know. But I can't get the door open.
Is there like a keyhole of the lock that could actually be picked? I can try to pick it if it looks like there is one, but...
Well, it opens from the inside, so the doors would come out.
So me pushing with all my might just was, kind of useless.
You'll get in that school for the gifted eventually.
Yeah. It's not saloon doors. We don't just, place isn't just wide open. It's locked up. It's locked up and no one's around, so I'm wondering what...
We're not burning it down.
No, I didn't say I would not suggest such a thing.
Conger, what would you do?
So we don't have a lockpick, and there's only one door, front and back.
I have lockpicks.
Is there like a back door to an alley, or is it just the front door?
It's just the front door, from what you can tell. It looks like it's kind of under the basement, like the bottom floor of more of like kind of a town home establishment. You've got other businesses, so connected buildings, so it's kind of underneath there. The rest would be able to tell you from the last time that they were in there, seeing as, here.
Remember, it was basically a square room with a door on the northeast side of it, going into an office.
Yes. Oh, you guys wouldn't.
So how badly do we want to get inside to see what information we can get?
You guys wouldn't have known about that.
It'd be a good place to fall back to, especially if no one's actually using it.
Corin, you don't happen to have your lockpick on you, do you?
I do, and I can try.
What's the visibility to this door on this alleyway? Or we went down some stairs?
You went down some stairs. It's like down in an alleyway, so there's not a lot of visibility there.
Well, you try yours before I try mine.
Yeah, because yours will draw attention.
I don't want to make too much noise, though.
Alright, so first I'll go up to it and I will, do the requisite checking for traps or alarms or anything like that.
And so I was going to say, if it doesn't look like too many people, if there anybody around, like we said, there's no one around, I might pray and, give Corin a little hand.
Well, when he did this perception check, he looked around and checked for traps and basically came to the conclusion that the door was just stuck.
Well, I have de-locked it, guys. Tongram, you want to kind of pull this open as quietly as you can?
He manages to open it gently.
God bless, I haven't rolled anything higher than a 10 all night out.
That was my lowest roll right there. I've been rolling crazy good.
Stay away from me.
All right, so you open the door and you look in, and it seems remarkably, like the last time you guys left it. I mean, you see some blood smears on the floor from where you dragged some folks out. It's relatively dark in there. There's no candles lit, so I mean it is dim, but it's from nothing really seems to have been out of place. It doesn't seem like Ma has been back, or the bartender. Seems relatively quiet.
I suggest we get in and lock the door and put a table in front of it or something.
Aren't we going to go back and check out Bloodbath now that we have a fallback?
And we know that there's no one around here. We want to check the office, double check in the office, if there's any sign of...
We should do this. We should close the door, double check there's no one in here, and then, Eldon, can't you cast an alarm spell?
Oh, yeah, if I can get some... if I can get a... Well, yeah, I'd have... So, yeah. Can do that.
At least then we'll know that if once we leave, no one else comes back.
Right. So let's see. File. We should probably rig up. So while you guys are checking the office, rig up an alarm. It's 20 cube.
All right, so I assume you guys are inside.
Yeah.
Side. Oh.
Bloop. These are older tiles, older tokens for you guys.
How do I delete?
Should be a flood.
You'll get to the other tool and click the button.
I got it.
Make sure you don't click the wrong button because it's finicky.
And sometimes you'll delete the map.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Well, luckily I don't think we can delete the map, so we're a little safe.
Yeah. Just saying.
Tongram might be able to.
Sometimes that happens.
Those are 5-foot tiles, right?
Yes.
We'll do that one. And these take 10 minutes together. Or no, 10 minutes.
11 minutes.
It's a ritual.
10 plus the casting time.
Okay.
Which I always thought was a weird rule, but whatever.
10 minutes it is.
Oops.
All right, so the alarm is set and ready to go. Some 10 minutes have passed. While he's doing that, what are you guys looking at? Thangram, what you doing?
I mean, at this point, we've been traveling for a day. We didn't really... I guess we got a long rest last night, but it's...
A leisurely cart ride.
probably a little more conspicuous to be traveling around at night around the city, drawing attention than the day. So I would.
Well, it's evening. It's a festivities night, so there's going to be people out on the streets, stuff like that, wandering around. I'm sure, right? So if we're moving around. We just have to worry about like being spotted by guards who might recognize who we are. But the regular town folk probably wouldn't really care much about us, right?
I would guess not. Most people don't know who we are.
Unless there's wanted posters up or all over the place for us.
Then yeah, I guess I'm just kind of looking to see if anything looks like people have been here recently. Dust around the front door, or footsteps in the, anything other than us that we might have disturbed. And then if that's it, then it's making sure we can secure this place and use it kind of as a base operation.
Yeah, so since the last time you were here, it's been about a week, I would say. Because maybe... Yeah, it's been about a week since you guys have been here. What you can tell, it seems to be that everything has been relatively undisturbed. In as much as it looks as disturbed as you left it.
Right.
So it doesn't look like we came here and it just closed and be open again tomorrow.
Right.
All right, and now, as long as we're within a mile, I'll know if people come in here.
So do we go investigate, or do we just call it and crash here for the night and plan?
Well, I kind of think we need to scope out what the Bed Bath and Beyond looks like at the moment. I'm a little bit interested in getting back and finding our any of the stuff that we haven't had access to. See if
We probably need disguises.
okay.
Or at least a cloak or something.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I wonder if there's like some sort of common theme for.
Are there any Is there any clothing in the any like jackets, coats, cloaks hanging on the walls in the
Well, when you look back there, you would see there would be a kind of a woolen cloak, a greenish woolen cloak that is gnomish inside, and it looks like maybe some kind of more of a, I want to say like a rain slicker, galoshes type things that would have fit. If you remember Ma, that would have been one of the contacts that Thongar made when he was at the first Saj Estate party. He made goods like that. So you do see some of the clothes, kind of like rain slickers and things that look like would have fit her back there. But in terms of, other cloaky weather, gear, and the only thing you see is more of a greenish woolen cloak.
which, since I already have a black cloak, not sure that changes things enough to basically like pull up my hood.
No. The other thing, there are a couple of chests back there, a couple of bookcases, and a desk. But, that cursory glance, you don't see anything else.
Okay.
Well, like I said, we have options here. I can go out there invisible and just scout, assuming I can get there and back in an hour. Or I can disguise self, do the same thing. We can all just, we can try to find a clothing store that's open and buy something. Doubt they're looking for that.
And ultimately, I mean, the most we do is like get a hat, something like that, right?
Unless there's some sort of like common festival clothing. If everyone's wearing the same kind of thing, we should probably have that thing.
All right.
Is this like a masquerade or?
It'd be too easy.
You hadn't seen any masquerades or anything to that manner. In this particular one, there were some colorful garb. You did see some things. You saw some outfits that had feathers, some plumages, kind of like around the tail area. You had some that had a little feathery headdresses. There were some things, just straight attire. It wasn't like a masquerade ball, but it's it's kind of a party. It's something that they were trying to give back to the people, and ultimately you remember it's Mistress Saj is trying to work her way into the nobility and trying to vie for one of the last spots on the blades. Because they just had somebody pass away, so she's trying to gain popular notoriety. So she's trying to make this as fun and, hey, forget the humdrum of normal day-to-day stuff.
I'm pretty sure the guy walking around with leather armor and the gnome going swish, swish, swish.
No. I don't.
That's right. You changed.
I have a cloak of protection that so I have a black cloak I wear over thing. So I'm essentially wearing a cloak. Cloak of protection, I'm assuming, is a black cloak.
It's not like a blue cloak with shields embroidered all over it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Is it?
It's not so obvious. Hey, don't attack me! I'm protected.
Do I have to go look it up? So yeah, I mean, I if we feel that we're going to be conspicuous wandering back over to, then we need to come up with some sort of disguise. But if not, I mean, like I said, I don't think. I mean, if we feel like we're going to be, are we?
I would say that if we're going to be looked for, it'll hopefully word hasn't gotten back to them from the prison yet. But by tomorrow, I'm sure they'll know that we've escaped.
Right. I mean, we did take a long rest, so if they sent word or anything overnight, right afterwards, they may have gotten ahead of us. But if not, then I mean, word may not have spread enough at this point. We could just kind of like we just got to here. We stayed on the back.
Well, to be fair, the only people who saw us escape were two hill giants who aren't known as being the sharpest tools.
Right.
The other ones might have actually wanted to check to make sure that we weren't, burned to death inside.
Right. So, anyway, yeah, I think side and back streets, and kind of, be as try not to draw attention to ourselves as we walk around the harbor there and get over to the other side of town where Bloodbath and Beyond is.
Okay.
If that's a fair, I mean, we'll know if anybody comes in here. I won't be able to identify who came in there or whether it was friend or foe, but at least I'll know if that if there's any activity there.
And I say, if for whatever reason we have to run if we have to run and we get split up, go back to the Shrine of Umberlee.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds fair.
To be fair.
Or, don't get split up, but...
All right, so what is your first next step?
Make our way to Bloodbath and Beyond via as inconspicuously as possible without being on the main streets.
Essentially, avoiding guards and and the cloaks.
But we don't want to look like we're hiding.
Right. Look like we know where we're going, but
Side streets, not alleys, not main streets.
Okay. So, I'm assuming you're going to do this stealthily?
I mean, I guess. Well, that's the thing is we're not going to be hiding, so we don't want to look like we're hiding. We're going to be moving towards it, but we want to also be aware of we see guards and things like that. We're going to make movements towards.
Stealthily as in blending in, not stealth, like hiding in a crowd stealthily, not hiding in shadows stealthily.
Right. That's what I was getting at. Not like Thongram's sneaky. All right. So, all right. So y'all are done in here. Roll me a stealth check collectively.
So is it with advantage?
You kind of think you could help each other and do it yourself.
So we're moving as a group, so I'm thinking.
Yeah. The group has more people have to succeed than fail.
Correct.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so I still have to roll.
So it's all down to Eldon.
Oh,
Sneaky.
Luckily, fate smiled upon you. Oh, God, that kills me. A 1.
That's where I really wish that D&D would go towards the 3d6 method of doing things.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are making your way in the world today and taking everything you got. So you make your way up. Go ahead. So you make it up the stairs, and you start coming back into. We go back to. Nope, not there. There. Okay, so you come up to the stairs, and you start making your way around. You're going to have to go around to the west and come down I know you're not going down the main streets, but you're kind of going down that path. So the closer you get, you're going to be skirting around the main festivities here towards the Saj Estate. And as you go around, I mean, it doesn't take much to notice all of these grand facades having been erected around the city here. You see huge tapestries of the Claw of Bane and pictographs and murals being painted on the walls as you go through. And the side streets, you do catch glances of this fairly large open park side that you catch the whiff of burnt grass as you pass by it. It's kind of a sight to see. You hear murmuring of this place called the Mall of the Damned, which seems festive. As the revelers go through, and they're throwing Molotov cocktails at this big open park area, and you see the grass area is kind of burning, and all the trees have been uprooted. It's like they are clearing off this main area, and all around you see these these large not necessarily war machines, but you see these large stands and large the only picture that I've got to my mind right now is trebuchets, and that's not what I'm talking about, but these big woodworks and the towers and things that kind of brings Corin back to the stuff that he was kind of getting glimpses of at the Stowe estate when he was watching out for there. But there's a lot of activities there. Corin, roll me a perception check.
Every time I want to hit perception.
So you're watching as you guys are going through the side streets and make your way around. You do notice that there are members of the cloaks inconspicuously throughout things. Some have taken minute note of you, but it doesn't concern you because it seems like they're making note of everybody, keeping eyes open for odd activities. But as people are milling around, you guys are blending in. It does seem like the ice cream trucks have been a big hit since they were first introduced, and the magicians have found a way to create a claw-like confection of this sugary treat, frozen treat that has been very popular amongst the party. And you're going through, and it appears that the church has made strides to create quite a production here. As the celebration happens, you catch wind that apparently the burning of this mall area is part of the festivities, and you do hear the chanting, you hear the music in full swing, and there's a lot of drunken cheering, a lot of non-drunken cheering. But you're able to slip through the crowds, and you make your way towards the eastern part of the area. The crowds are thinning a good bit. You don't see as many blades or congregations of blades as you get there, except you start making your way through this area here, and you've been to this tavern before, but you get closer to the Bloodbath and Beyond, and you once it comes in eyesight, it's near impossible to miss that it is completely cordoned off by the city guard, and there are several high-ranking looking members of the Blades patrolling and watching this area. There is a lot of foot traffic in and out of the armory, or of the storefront. You get the feeling that the place has been fairly well turned over.
They're like active guards, like guarding it, or is it just cordoned off and be very obvious that we were trying to sneak in?
The whole police line do not cross thing, and then nobody's around.
Oh no! There is an active presence there.
What about the big alley, the back alley?
Well, I mean, there would be guards at if I was going to zoom in, you see a heavy presence at every main intersection. There are people, as you kind of sit and peer and casually observe it. They're carrying things out. You've heard some things kind of crashing over, It's, excuse me. It sounds like there is still an active, I could say an active search, but you see some people carrying things out and loading carts with paraphernalia and such. But it is not necessarily a quiet space.
Looks like they're seizing our assets, boys. Any sign of Orin around?
Of who?
Orin 2?
Not that you've seen, but would you have some means of, calling to him?
I mean, probably would.
Beyond yelling Orin too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna yell out. I'm not gonna start yelling out and drawing attention to myself.
Anybody else see that gnome over there?
Actually, but that would be like if we're on the front side, so actually I wouldn't even know, like, because Orin would be in the courtyard in the back where he generally stays, where he was during the whole fight and such.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, are y'all trying to make a perimeter around it? What's...
I wouldn't, with that kind of activity, even if we're there, I wouldn't want Orin to even recognize that we're here. So I'm not interested in drawing attention to ourselves at this point. But it looks like they've been doing this. So that what happened there just happened.
It would have been 7th day.
Do we ever know how long we were? I guess we know it's the 9th day, so we.
Yeah, so it would have been 2 days. It would have been 2 days ago. You spent most of the 8th day breaking out of the prison and setting it on fire.
As you do.
As one does.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like we want to make an approach here because that would be bad. There's no one that we know back at the squirrel's nest.
The alarm has not gone off.
Okay.
Do you want to try and disguise yourself, Corin, and see if you can get in there and help start loading some stuff or moving a box?
Are they loading stuff or are they just guarding?
He said they were loading our stuff on carts.
There are some things being loaded up. Different. You would catch glimpses of weapons and such. On the inside. You would see, this flickering light, which might kind of remind you of the portal light that you had seen. So there seems like there may be some active activity on the inside.
I can do that, but if I happen to find our stuff, how am I going to get it out?
I mean, it would be dangerous to go in there. I mean, we could, impersonate these guys who are carrying things in and out and go in, grab some stuff and carry it out as if we were one of them. But aside from that,
I guess you would just carry it out the front door.
I mean, the people.
But it sounds like they're doing it through portals.
The people who are carrying things in and out, do they look like guards and stuff carrying things, or does it look like they're conscripting, some commoners to carry stuff for them? And
no, it does look like it's guards. I mean, there are some blades overseeing overseeing some of the work. You don't have a clear line of sight on what's happening. I mean, even though lots of pieces of the building have been blown up and everything, you do see, like we said, there does appear to be some flickering lights, which appear, resemble the portal lights that you had seen. So I'm pretty confident y'all are not seeing everything that's going on. The stuff that's being carted out, Thongrim would know, would notice that, that's, armor and some of the raw materials being moved out. But there are some other, like I said, there are, some members of the Blades are overseeing such. You haven't gotten any glimpses of cloaks or necessarily any of the other spellcasters that were part of the ambush from the other night.
Does anybody look like they're a magic user?
Not that you can see, but you have intuited that there are probably some inside the building.
Maybe grab something off that cart and head back in with it, and then just try and sneak around.
Well, I'm more worried about somebody casting detect magic or something.
Well, is disguise self magic?
Yeah.
Putting on a
I can put it as I don't happen to have a guard's outfit on me. Unless you know of one.
Right, we'd have to look like the guards to get in and out of there at the moment. And they're full on.
I guess that was.
They're full on gutting.
I guess that was Raz that had the performance kit or whatever that would allow him to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not gonna be able to turn himself into a guard.
No, but he did have a uniform or something on him.
Do we have the bag? What did we end up with? We were carrying the bag of holding, so we have the bag of holding at the moment? Do we have...
No, y'all said that the bag of holding was left at the inside the building.
So we've got both the bag of holding and my backpack holding, that haversack, that are MIA until we find them.
That's why I always carry everything I can on me.
Well, when you're ambushed and all, go and grab everything you have.
When everything's on fire, what's the one thing you grab before you run out of the house?
The bag that magically holds everything you own.
Unless you're magically touching yourself at the time. So, as you're sitting there watching, all of a sudden, you hear kind of some loud voices on the inside. You can't really catch wind of it, but it's kind of all right, and all the lights on the inside vanish. And the guards on the outside, they are still looking like they're loading up. Loading up gear onto the back of some of the wagons. But whatever it is that just happened, it happened.
So it sounds like we just missed our chance.
End of the workday, it looks like.
Well,
there's that too.
I mean, at this point, it's into the evening. I mean, it's with the party going on across town and all that. I mean, it's not early. It's not early evening.
So does it look like they're all starting to disperse?
It would appear so. I mean, the glowing blue and orange lights have faded. They are no longer there. So it looks, as the minutes pass by, it does look like things are starting to clear out.
So the carts are being moved off and all that stuff. If we wait a little bit, they've gotten everything they feel like they're going to get, but they're going to leave this place and gut it. We can always go in there and see if they left anything behind. After they're all gone.
There might still be some sentries behind us. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
Do we want to just hang out inconspicuously and see?
Can we? Should we go take a walk? I don't know where to, but should we? If they catch us just hanging out, that could be bad.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, if we wait till they see what they leave behind, they're obviously not going to just leave behind all, our gear in our room. And if we wait around and they get the bag of holding, then everything else in there doesn't really matter.
I'm sure they got the bag of holding. I mean, you'd walk in there, cast Detect Magic, and grab the 3 things that glow.
Does a bag of holding glow?
If it's magic, so if you cast Detect Magic,
Is it
That's
magic?
a good question.
it's magic. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think it is, but I had not actually thought about that.
No, it is. It's listed as a magic item, so it would come out.
It's a bag that the inside's bigger than the outside. It's magic.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with the haversack and anything else left behind. That would have.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Sounds like it wasn't there until I said that.
Well, it would have made things much quicker on my end. But you've been gone for a day and a half, 2 days
And
at this point.
And they've just taken all of our goods out. And like I said, we're out of business, boys. We're probably aren't going to be able to reset in this town.
We knew this business venture was never gonna last.
Well, then there's
Congram
nothing
knew that.
left to go here. So we might as well continue on to the party or wherever we're going from here, because if they're here, then we don't have anything to get out of there, and there's no point in just going in there to walk around.
Right. Assuming it's not a trap of some sort.
Right.
You never know. I'm not advocating one way or the other.
Yeah, I think it'd be. I think if we wait around, so
We can wait around for half an hour or so. I can cast invisibility and run in real fast.
Well, I'm thinking we can walk around the building. If they've pretty much left and there aren't any real sentries, if we walk around the building, find out if they left Orin in the back or they just turned him loose and he's running around somewhere in the streets. We can, I don't know what else might be left behind that that would be worth our while to go in there. So then the option would be to we need to probably head back to the squirrel's nest. That's going to be a better base for us at the moment, and then also maybe kind of contact the underground to find, see if we can get any whispers on what's going on and where our friends might be and that kind of stuff.
We can. I mean, the problem is I don't have a contact for the underground. I just kind of made myself known. So I'll probably go try and do that again.
Yeah.
So I can go in there and take a quick look.
I mean, it's not going to hurt to go in there and take a quick look. I mean, if they tossed the stuff, they took everything that looked like it was valuable, I'm sure. But I mean, there may be remnants of things grabbing.
So, what are you going to do? I've heard go back to the squirrel's nest. I've heard try to contact again the Thieves Guild. I've heard invisibility into the place to check it out, to see if it's there, or to see if it's a trap to capture you guys. Walk around it.
They know we're at large again, so.
And so I'll go take a quick look inside. You guys hang back like a block or so, or further away. Well, not too far, I guess within 120 feet, so I can message you if necessary.
Well, and find out if around.
All right, so you guys hang out like on the other side of the street, and I will do a quick look around.
Fair.
First, I'll go find some alley and to cast my spell in.
All right, I'll need a sleight of hand on that as well, because I'm assuming you're going to want to try to hide it. Okay. You seem to have been hidden well enough.
All right, so now, as quietly as I can, I'm going to, there's my spell, go into the smithy.
Okay, and when you make your way in, let's. I haven't cleared it out since the last time, but just kind of putting it back in mind of where everything is here. I mean, you sneak in and you look around, and the place is just literally trashed. From around the front counter, it's been torn open. The display cases have been knocked open. All the cabinets have been torn open and emptied out. It looks like everything that they've gone through, they've tossed the place. The office is empty. From what wasn't destroyed in the battle, the holes in the wall, all that. The furnace is barely warm. You don't see any of your people there. Looking through the workshop, you do see, they managed to leave some of the anvils there. But raw material, the ores and ingots, those have been moved. I'm assuming you would take a quick minute, to try to go upstairs, look through the rooms. Everything, mattresses torn open. it's pretty much bare bones. You don't see anything there.
And there's no one else in here at all.
I mean, not that you've seen. I mean, none of the employees. As far as the guards and everything, there's nobody that you've seen inside the building. There's still, lingering, patrol on the outside there. Kind of making away. Thongrim and Eldon would see some of them. Still keeping an eye on the place. It does not appear that you have tripped any alarms or anything at this point.
Okay, well, then I'll conclude my search, check out in the courtyard for Orin 2, and then head back to the group.
You do see some nice, not necessarily fresh turds, but it does appear to be, remnants of him having been here around the time. You might be able to find him in, the, buildings surrounding the south of the area. If you looked towards, zoom in and, around, somewhere maybe in these areas. It appears that he has been there, but granted, it's only been 2 days, so you could probably look around and find him. But he is not presently there, and you don't see his corpse laying around. So that's a good sign.
All right, well, then I will head back and relay all that.
All that being said, and the fact that we just basically turned that down, do we want to call it?
There is one more thing that I would like. I think that we are close to that. I think will set up the next event.
So I think, from here, I think we head back to the Squirrel's Nest as here's where we'll stay for the night and kind of gather ourselves. Is that?
Yeah, that should be our plan.
Okay. Assuming that much, and that's what I assumed you were going to do, you're able to make your way back as inconspicuously as possible. But when you get closer to the Sage Estate party and you're making your way around that, the area that was actively being burnt, you hear what sounds like the clergy and the priests are chanting and praying loudly as you hear a familiar voice as the echoing over throughout the air. You hear Gildel's voice. You can't understand the words that she's saying, but you hear the crescendo of her voice echo out. And as you're passing by this large mall, what was called the Mall of the Damned, that's what you've heard it as you're walking past and you see all the fire there and the burning and the ashes there. At the crescendo moment, this yelling of the priests and this scream lays out, and all of a sudden this shimmering into existence there is this large temple, golden temple, that raises up from the ground and occupying the complete mall, which was once on fire, and it's now been, and this magical temple has shimmered into existence.
I know this spell.
You know this spell, huh?
I recognize it.
You recognize it. You should recognize the spell, being a cleric. The temple, emblazoned and embellished with the claw of Bane on all sides, has come into existence, and as it appears, cheers erupt from the audience, and the music and the chants erupt as the church has declared that tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow we meet our God. Tomorrow we reign. As you hear Gildle yell.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun. Yes. Now, if you want to call it, we can call it.
Say first, we cast a spell magic on it.
You call what?
Cast a spell magic, and then we call it night.
Oh, that would be great. Let me see if that's one of my standard. Oh, it is. That would be. You don't? Do you? Are you suggesting that to?
No, that would be hilarious, though.
Are you suggesting that to Eldon?
Like, hey, could you, any way you can maybe dispel that, and then we can just, like, spend the rest of the week running?
Choose object or magical effect within range. Any spell third level or lower on the target, and I couldn't dispel it, even if I cast it.
It specifically says it can't be dispelled.
Oh.
It's a good
If
try.
it wasn't for that, you could dispel it. It just require you to make a DC check.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I have the level because I think isn't that like, what is that? That's level 5 or level 6? Like that?
7.
7 even. Okay, yeah.
So you'd have to make a DC 17 check with your spellcasting ability. Whatever level you cast that, it dispels that level and lower. Anything higher than your casting is a DC plus 10 plus the spell's level. So if it wasn't undispellable, you could theoretically dispel it.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Something to consider.
They would just turn around and cast it again, so it's not a big deal. But
Well,
It'd still be funny.
it'd be hilarious.
if Eldon had taken the trickster path, he might be all over.
All right. So, just to wrap, you guys, I'm assuming we'll make it back to the squirrel's nest. Is that where y'all want to end up?
Yes.
Are y'all going to do anything right now to what y'all have just seen?
No.
I mean, I don't know. No. The only thing that you could do is go in there and start killing folk, but we're drastically outnumbered.
Well, that is a potential plan. I'm not sure I would advocate for that one either. But if you, we'll say that you make it back to the squirrel's nest, and you guys will maybe search for whatever's happening in there. There could be other stuff that you may not have found the first time you were there. Okay. I'm sorry. I need to end this. I'm overhearing a conversation about something that's happening that I think I need to be involved with. So we will end it with this. You guys have made it back to the squirrel's nest. We will shoot for doing this again next week. I will make sure that it's at 6:30 and not 6. I apologize for scheduling it early. If anything comes up during the week that you want to, if you, any questions or something comes up that I can answer, let me know.
Okay. This one.
All right, guys. See you tonight.
All right. Well, thank you. Had fun, and we will do this again.
Are we level?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and plan for level 8.
So our long rest in the squirrel's nest gets us to level 8 because we successfully traveled away from. Right.
Yeah, go ahead and plan for level 8.
Adjusting my character sheet now.
Plan for or do it?
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Okay. All right. Will do.
Alrighty. See y'all next time.
Good.